Shalom, shalom, shalom. All honor, praise, and glory be to Yahweh Bashim Shah, Wahakadash Wakah, Kal Kabah Halal, Wahadar La, Yahweh Bashim Shah, Wahakadash Wakah, which is to say the same thing in Hebrew. It's your brother Shariat Naosah Shaman coming back. Before I get going, double honors to the apostles and the elders over at the Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to you brothers teaching this truth and sincerity. All right. To you rest of you believers out there, peace and blessings as well. All right. Or the Israelite nation, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. This says Russia. It's a quick watch warn. Just watch, but pretty much a warning too. But it says Russia says U.S. military aircraft activity rising around its border. Defense block. See the aircraft at the top. It says this is 6 hours to go. From 6 hours ago, it says the Russian Defense Ministry has reported about the rise of U.S. military activity over Russia's border. On Friday, the Defense Ministry press release said that the Russian radars tracked 46 foreign aircraft that conducted air reconnaissance near Russia's state border in the past week. All the flights by foreign spy aircraft were tracked by Russian radar stations. If you're not familiar, Russia they have the best military on the planet Earth, which we'll get into in just a second. It says no violations of the Russian state border were allowed. The paper stressed said in a statement. It says the National Defense Control Center also reported that a Sukhoi Su-27 fighter jet was scrambled to intercept a U.S. Air Force RC-135 reconnaissance aircraft and a U.S. Navy P-8A Poison Dime maritime patrol plane over the Black Sea on August 14th. In addition, a Russian MiG-31 fighter was scrambled to intercept a U.S. Poison Dime reconnaissance plane over the Bering Sea approaching Russia's state border on August 13th. So pretty much, these elites, they know the prophecies. They probably don't understand them, but they know that Russia is the number one military for that much. Even though their pride probably won't allow them to admit that. But let me finish this. It says, in the past week, Russian pilots carried out 342 flights. So like 342 flight shifts at 77 aerodromes as part of their combat training, the Defense Ministry said. All right, so it's kind of like they're on their P's and Q's with Russia, especially during these times. Russia, China, and Iran are set to meet. It hasn't been confirmed. If I get the article or will I, cover it, go into it or whatever. Watch on the matter. It's something I'm just keeping my eye on due to what happened at the top of the year with Iran. Matter of fact, it wasn't even Iran, it's India. India, I believe. But India and China is also beefing right now. It was one of the two. I ended up losing the article, but I know that Russia and China is scheduled to meet. And I believe the other nation was either India or Iran, but I believe it was India because it was saying that it's being held off and postponed due to the certain disputes that China and India has. So yeah, man, the prophecies is formulating that World War III, and Russia is leading it, and it's like America knows that as well. All right. So really quick, before I go into it. So we have right here Russia. It's Magog. All right. And then another important one is Gomer for us to go into this properly. So Magawag and Magog, and that's spiritual because you got MAGA. So Magawag or Magawag is going to have a very important role in taking down America. So pretty much America, they're being on their P's and Q's and trying to stop prophecy, and they know that Russia is the number one country or kingdom or military that can cause their military can firepower can result in America being destroyed. So this is Ezekiel 38:1. It says, "And came the word of Yahweh to me, saying, Son of man, set your face against Gog of the land of Magog, the prince of Rosh, Meshach, and Tubal, the prince of Rosh, Meshach, and Tubal." So the land of Magog is actually, see if we can get it. I'll make this too deep. Okay. So Russia is a better one at the top. It's perfect, actually. Slovakia. Esau's throttled my internet, so just bear with me. But just proving it, which will be another lesson, how we exactly know who's who. But just footing the bill without even knowing the location, it makes sense when we go into this chapter. You know what? Let's do it like this. So this spot that you see Russia in, when you look on an old map, like a more ancient map, you're actually going to see Magog in that spot. That's the region of Magog, Tubal, and etc. Meshach. So that's pretty much that. I won't even take up your time. But anyway, it says, "And Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord." All right. Yahweh. See? I am, behold, I am Salakia against you, God, the prince of Rosh, Meshach, and Tubal. It says, "And I will turn you around and put hooks into your jaws, and lead you out and your army with all horses and horsemen clothed splendidly." So he said, "I'm going to lead you out and your army, see, with all horses and horsemen clothed splendidly." And when you go into that word splendidly, it says perfection, gorgeous attire. The people we reading about as Magog is Russia today, and Russia has the number one military fighting force on the planet Earth. It says all a company great. It says with bucklers and shields, handling swords, all of them. So he's gonna draw out Magog, the Lord is saying, and he's gonna put all of these people, pretty much that will be confederate with him. And this is the point. It says Persia, Ethiopia and Libya are with them. All of them with shield and helmet. Gomer, which is Turkey, and all its troops, the house of Torgama far from the north, and all its troops are people, many with you. Prepare and be ready yourselves, you and all your company. So Russia, we know this to be Russia because Russia supplies everyone's military. So it makes sense for the America's spies to be seeing what Russia is working on and basically staying close. So they don't get caught slipping. Because this is what they basically the Lord is telling Magog to prepare and be ready yourselves, you and all your company that are gathered about you, and be for them a guard. See that? Not making this up. After days many, you will be visited. In the latter years, you will come into the land of those brought back from the sword, and gathered from people many on the mountains of Israel, which had been desolate long, and it from the nations, which has been desolate long, and it from the nations is brought out now, dwell safely, all of them. So pretty much, man, that's just going into how Magog has a major role in the major prophecy that's written to happen. According to the Lord's will, that will come to pass, and that's World War III and America being destroyed. Because it tells us right here, which we can prove real quick. This is Revelation 16 and give me a second. All right. So we'll close out on this. Make this too long. All right, let's just do this. I don't know what's going on. Salakia. So yeah, man. America, they know this. They know that Magog, Russia is preparing, and it's also, like I said, with the meeting, they're meeting with these other countries and getting them ready and supplying them with certain goods. That's why these countries trade and they put sanctions on each other to basically blackmail each other to keep themselves the position they want on the planet. So we're gonna jump to the last book, Revelation 16, and it tells us right here. It says, let me get the verse. Yep. I'll start with this. Yeah, here we go. Started Salakia. Started 12. Revelation 16 and 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east, going into the kingdoms, let's get that word real quick. Kings. Or whether we can get it. Kings. And it reads, it says, let's see, leader of the people, prince, commander of the Lord, Lord of the land, king. So these are different kingdoms, man. That's what this is going into. So you have your Kim Jong-uns, you have your Vladimir Putins, your Netanyahus, you have Hell, you had just Soleimani, you know what I'm saying? And he was killed. But all these guys, in order for it to be a king, there has to be a kingdom. So you say through the notion of a foundation of power. So these powerful countries with military force and different resources other countries would need. So that would be likened unto kingdoms, you know, with a very dense population of people. It says that the way of the kings, but all their people of all these different kingdoms, they have their own citizens moving here because this is the daughter of Babylon that is written to be destroyed. So that's why this is written that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So the kings of the east is everybody east. Why is it saying the kings of the east? Because the main place that's been singled out is what's west. What's west? What's on the western hemisphere? America. See that? They say, now let's jump down to 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, because that's what's actually going to happen over east. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to get that 12th verse. So pretty much they're keeping an eye on what Russia is doing, you know, who Russia is meeting with, who Russia is getting prepared, because all those kings are going to gather together in the east, as we see happening, to look west. See that? So Lord willing, has been edifying. Just something we just want to watch out for, and we just, you know, keep up the breast with it, you know. But Russia, they sent out, it's not going to work. America's going to lose. It's written to be destroyed. And that's why this is happening. And America knows it. All right? Shalom.